Show. My name is Benita Okore. I am super excited because of the guest I have with me today. I am present at the Council General of Brazil. And today with me, guys, let's meet the ambassador for Council General of Brazil. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
You look very amazing and fabulous, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. My name is Francisco Luz. I'm Ambassador and Consul General of Brazil in Lagos. I arrived in the country 12 days ago.
Oh, really?
Only, yeah. So, and it's a pleasure to, well, it's the first interview.
You have here in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. How, I would like you to quickly just do some introduction about yourself a little bit, because some people know you, some people don't know.
Yeah.
For the viewers, what you do.
Okay, I think what's more interesting, I've been in Africa before for 14 years.
Did you just say 40 years?
14.
14.
14. I was consular in South Africa. I was deputy chief of mission in Mozambique, and I was ambassador in Tanzania for 6 years. So I spent 5 years in Mozambique, three years in Pretoria, okay. And now it's my 4th post in Africa.
Wow.
So, and I hope to be here for 2, 3, 4 years. So it's I'm looking forward to enjoy this incredible city, very hectic megalopolis, and one of the big cities in the world. So I think it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for saying all of these good things about Nigeria,
Yes.
precisely. So, forgive my negligence, please. For the 12 days you've been here in Nigeria, what has been your experience? I know you've not been here for a very long time, but for the few days that you've spent, what has been your experience? Well,
so far I'm most trying to settle. I spend more days in shops looking for pieces of furniture, for appliances. So it's yesterday I participated in my first cultural event at the Didi Museum for the launch of the book of Kings of Benin. It's a very interesting event. Lots of interested people there. I enjoy a lot, myself and my wife. I think we're planning to do lots in terms of culture. The cultural life here is vibrant, and it has lots to do with Brazilian culture, because, as you know, the African element in the formation of the Brazilian nationality is very important. It's 1/3 of the population, and most here from this region, from what used to be Benin, Dahomey, all these areas. 4 million people forcefully migrated to my country to work in the sugarcane plantations, and they left a very important footprint in the formation of our nationality.
And then talk about the African culture and its heritage. Like you just said, the Brazilians and the Nigerians, I believe there's a connection between these two people.
Yeah.
So are you going to be having these two people come together to foster sisterhood?
Yeah, that's the plan. We've been talking. First, I'm identifying the partners. Then, probably in general, I'm going to Brazil, especially to Salvador, that is considered, that was declared by the Oni of Ife as the Yoruba capital of the Americas, and see which institutions and the local governments that can help in bringing this together. Not only the Yoruba culture, but all the African influences in Brazil. But I think we have the obvious start is Salvador in Bahia, because of this, because of the Yoruba influence, in both in religion, cuisine, and even living. So if you walk on the streets in the old city of Salvador, and if you walk here in the Brazilian quarters in Lagos Island, I think you're going to have the same feeling.
And then talk about the...
don't forget the music. No? The percussion and the drums, this is very, very important.
Exactly. And then talk about the Brazilians and the Nigerians, because there is a connection between them, the traditions, like the Ifa, the Oshun. Is there any impact that this culture has imbibed in the Brazilians? Do you believe in African culture?
Yeah, of course. After 14 years, I've seen many things, and it's very interesting. And for us, it feels like home. No? the food, the music, the religion. The African religions are very strong in the state of Salvador, in the state of Bahia, where Salvador is located. Salvador is 6 million inhabitants city, so it's a big city with lots of influence in the national culture. But also African cults are very popular also in Rio, and in the city of São Paulo mainly, and some other locations where, especially in Recife, where there is a big African community. So this is something that you see all over the country, and the manifestations are more, in some areas the influence is more from Congo, Angola, but in Salvador is mostly from what is today Nigeria. No? So it's quite important, quite relevant in music, in literature, in the cuisine, in the arts. So I think it's very visible, the African presence.
And in Brazil, I believe that the African culture is being practiced, just like the schools. Some schools practice, like the Yoruba culture, I believe. Some
yes, mostly in Salvador. Yeah, mostly in Bahia. There is, because it's part of their culture. So it's where the biggest concentration of the Yorubas stay at the end. Some of them return, and here settle themselves in the Brazilian quarters in Lagos Island. And there is lots of interaction between these communities, no? Especially the Babalaos, they come and go from Brazil for training here. They go there for monitoring the religious service they are practicing there. So it's quite an intense interaction, and I think the trend is to get more and more important. Today I learned that from the 9th of November there will be not a direct link, but a shorter option from Lagos to Salvador through Cape Verde, to the South airport. And much cheaper than the other options through South Africa so I think it will help bring these communities together even closer.
And someone said to me, if I want to learn the African culture or the Yoruba language, I think I can even go to Brazil, because the Brazilians have been practicing and they really love the African culture and all. So are you going to be saying that yes, people can actually go to Brazil and then they can see some part of African cultures in Brazil?
Definitely. I think Dionil Vifer, he was impressed when he visited Salvador last year. I think it was November 2018. And I think he didn't have the idea how vivid is the presence of this. And it's funny that the African cults are practiced not only by the African descendants, but also by the European descendants, and by the native descendants. So it's a culture that's open to anyone. You see lots of Europeans involved in the candomblé, umbanda, quimbanda, as they call the cults, and it's quite. I think they have a big following in many states, but as I say, again, mostly in Bahia and Rio.
Okay, and just a few questions and then we'll round up this segment. Talk about the African culture. What are you going to be, what should we be expecting from you now that you're in Nigeria? Because you said you love the African culture, you're the man of, let me just say, the African settings and all. So what are we going to be expecting from you now that you're in Nigeria?
We're trying, we have, the structure of the consulate is big. I'm fortunate to have an auditorium that we can host events, but we are looking for partners to do events all over the city. Try maybe bringing bands, photographers, plastic fine artists that have any relation with the African presence in Brazil. We're planning to start a series of movies every month. We're going to host a night, probably in the middle of the month. second Friday of each month, we're going to do Brazilian movies and trying to bring the Brazilian culture more present here.
And then you talked about having movies and all. Is it going to be a gate fee to come watch movies?
No. The idea is to show for free.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's great.
and I think the auditorium hosts can sit like 120 easily. If there is a demand, we can do more sessions. So we are organizing for next year a Ibero-American Film Festival at the Alliance Française.
Oh.
Okay, so I don't know exactly if it will be only one Brazilian movie or more, because only Spain and Brazil are represented here in Lagos. So probably if you take the whole week, you probably do 5 movies each country, and I think it will be nice. We're still working on the program for next year. This year, unfortunately, I'm doing just a couple of movies and some events for the community. But next year, we're trying to open and to make to include our auditorium in the program of the city. No? So to have as an extra option for entertainment, especially for the youth. No?
That's great. And I want to bring you out of your comfort zone a little bit.
Ah, wow.
So I would want you to just speak the Yorubas that you actually understood. Like, do you speak Yoruba?
No, we use some words. No?
Like,
if you go to Bahia, everybody greets you with axé.
oh,
So, and words like Babalawo, all the names of the Orishas.
okay. So can you name any of the Orishas that you know?
Ah, wow. Xangô, Oxum, Iemanjá.
Do you know what they represent?
Iemanjá is the most popular because is the queen of the waters, the queen of the sea.
Okay.
In Rio, for instance, during New Year's Eve, thousands of people go to send flowers to the sea on her behalf, on her name, to praise her. Xangô and Oxum are also very strong. If you go to Bahia or in some places in Rio, it's very common to see the person using the color of the Orisha. And they say, I'm the son of Xangô, I'm the son of Ogum. And Obatalá, Eleguá. Eleguá in Brazil, Eleguá is more in Cuba.
Wow.
Because depending on the Orishas, they change some names depending on the region. But I served in Cuba also, so that's why the Africans in Cuba are very close. They came from the same region, and then the ones they go to Brazil. So they also follow the Candomblé, the Umbanda. But for instance, in Carnival, groups like Iliaê or Olodum, they use abadas.
Okay.
So it's some words that every Brazilian knows.
Okay.
So, and an abadá costs a lot for a carnival. It can reach above $1,000
Okay.
for you to go in one of these groups.
Okay.
Now coming to official. When we talk about the official duties, we have noticed sometimes in most of the embassies, why people do apply for visas, they are being denied. Now, from your own point of view, why do you think they are being denied? And Brazil is now open for Nigerians to fly to Brazil to see what exactly is happening in Brazil?
I think the reasons for denial or non-concession of visas, so there's two kinds, no? Because the denial implies a penalty. When you stamp the denial in the passport, it will be very difficult for this person to get a visa in any other consulate. So non-concession, it's a more neutral. In general, the reasons for this is suspicions of illegal immigration. So using Brazil or other countries to reach America, Europe, we don't know. Other reason for denials is not sufficient funds, not enough funds to cover the costs of the trip. So this could mean, besides attempts to migrate, also human trafficking or involvement with other illegal activities. So sometimes people want to go to Brazil to bring drugs, not through Nigeria, but
Other parts of the
to
continent.
Europe, and as mules. So of course it's not everybody. But you never know. The good people always pay for the bad. so we have to be extra careful on this. But for instance, now that Nigeria is playing the Under-17 World Cup, FIFA World Cup there, and well, congratulations for the win yesterday. You know? We also won, so probably Brazil and Nigeria will play the final. So it was a couple of good matches yesterday, we are issuing. I think today I received authorization for 31 or 32 supporters to go. And I'm still expecting 2 batches. I think we're going to issue around 200 visas for the people to support the Nigerian team there. Unfortunately, they came very late. Our processing time takes like a couple of weeks minimum, and sometimes people come with 4 or 5 days. I'm traveling this weekend, so it's not possible. We have the checks. It's complicated, and so it takes some time. My staff is limited. And the demand here it's above 3,000 visas per year, so it's quite 3,000 that get the visa. No? In general, at least we can double the people that come are not granted or denied visa. So it's a lot of work, and but the idea is to diminish this. It's very easy. I think there now there will be a possibility of increasing. We're working with the travel agents to increase the screening. I hope I can deliver. So we denied less and less. Now I don't grant less and less. So I hope I can deliver. The idea is to work to bring. We're going to receive it. Especially our cultural relations closer together. I think the potential is big, no potential for trade there, and also Nigeria is already one of our biggest wants to come here to visit Ogun with a bilateral trade way above 1 billion, and other locations that are to work in this, in culture, to learn more in cooperation, to visit in education, and also to improve the quality of our consular affairs and to bring the societies together, to open our auditorium for events, not only Brazilian events, but also Nigerian events. Everybody that wants to do something, to work together here, the embassy will open to study and provide the space for this, and our facilities will be available for nice projects, especially the ones that try to promote our bilateral relations in any kind.
Okay, thank you so very much, sir. We really love your audience, and thank you for granting our request. Okay.
It was a pleasure.
All right, and this is where we're going to be ending the show for today. I still remain your host, Benita Okore. I'll see you guys same time, same place. Don't go nowhere. Stick around to Free Talk TV.